As someone who says you can be as liberal or as conservative as you want to be, just don't force others to be like you.
Got it.
That's what we are all about. We are all about long-term solutions, not short-term solutions. We're all about changing culture, not just changing law. Law, we have to remember something. At the end of almost every single law is a guy or a gal with a gun who will put you in a cage. And if you don't want to go in that cage, he or she is going to kill you. That means you only use law when it really matters, not just because I'm angry, not because I don't like you, not because you should do some activity I think you shouldn't do, or whatever the case may be. It's only for important things like life and liberty and property and things like that. That's when you use violence. That's when you use force. That's what libertarians are all about.
I have not used that intro in a long time. I thought tonight is the time to do it. How are you guys? I hope you were able to watch my show earlier in my Shortway show, but this show is a little bit different. I want to talk about the future and the past of blockchain and cryptocurrency, specifically in New York. Just kind of how people think about it, what's really happening, and how you can get a grasp on it. And let me first start, as I always do. Like, comment, share. I know I bug it, but it matters. I get shadow banned. Please like and comment and share. Bug your friends. Tell them they should watch it. They care about cryptocurrency. They care about blockchain, and they're not experts. This is the show they should watch. I'm going to talk about a bunch of things like that. The first thing I want to bring up is the idea of what cryptocurrency actually is and why we shouldn't be scared of it. Now, a lot of people are. Sounds scary. Crypto sounds scary. I got you. Oh, all the bad guys buy stuff with crypto. So let me take you back a few years for those of you who are a bit older, and maybe some of you even now. When I was a kid, I used to trade comic books. Loved comic books as a kid. Still love comics, but nowhere near as much as I used to when I was a kid. And I grew up in the 70s, right? So this was the heyday of Marvel comics and all those types of things. And I enjoyed it tremendously. I used to trade them all the time. And when I would trade my comics, if I wanted to say, give one of my Iron Man comics away for 2 Captain Americas or something, or whatever the case may be, who decided the value of that? Well, the people trading, right? If to you, you didn't care much about your Captain Americas, you cared more about my Iron Man, you were happy to swap it because you thought that was important. Beanie Babies were that way. Baseball cards were that way. When I was a kid, I loved baseball cards too. Yep, I was a typical kid, comics and baseball cards. That was me. I lived by Yankee Stadium, so I had all the Yankees of the 1970s, all the cards, all that stuff. Loved it all. It was great. I really enjoyed it. And I would trade them, and we trade them back and forth. I would ask, where was the government when it came to trading your baseball cards or your comic books, whatever the case may be? Was there a chance there was fraud? Sure, absolutely. There was. But did we do it? Yeah. Cryptocurrency is very similar. It is allowing people to trade in whatever currency they want to trade in. No one is actually forcing you to use any cryptocurrency. You don't have to ever. You can use dollars all day if you want to. Or you could choose to use another currency if you wanted to. Now, you might say, well, Larry, that may have trouble with taxes and stuff. I'm happy to have that conversation. What I'm talking about before we even get there is just the idea of, should you, as an individual, be able to trade in whatever currency you want? What if you want to trade in onions or something like that? Shouldn't you be able to trade in onions if you wanted to? Or whatever the other person agrees to take in trade, right? Obviously, the other person has to agree. I can't just go, I'm buying this car in onions. The person has to say, man, I really like onions. Take my car. I would like those onions. And that's fine if you want to. But that's what cryptocurrency is. It's trading in a currency that you agree or want to, like baseball cards or onions or comic books or anything like that. And there are lots of different types of cryptocurrencies, right? Bitcoin and Litecoin, Ethereum and Tusk, and on and on and on they all go. There's also lots of things you could trade in, like baseball cards and Beanie Babies and comic books. Yeah, but who decides the value? The community. The community decides that. You can even trade in art, can't you, if you want to? Who decides the value of the art? The community does. Now, that's the reason why it should be okay, in my view, and I think many people's views, to actually buy and sell in cryptocurrency if you want to. Again, it's voluntary. You don't have to do it. But you should be able to. But Larry, it can be corrupt. It can, of course. Comic books can be corrupt. People could lie on your comic books. People could lie with the authenticity of your baseball card. Possible. The onions I give you for your card could be rotten. Sure, all those things. But if you did it in that regard, you have the normal court system you would use. The problem is, how would you know? And how could you sue them? And if you're wealthy, could you? And then what's the proof? Difficult, but could be done. In the case of any cryptocurrency, it's all there. The ledger is there. Because what's under cryptocurrencies is a thing called the blockchain. You might go, blockchain, Larry, what the hell is the blockchain? Wouldn't it be nice if when all of a sudden you bought a car, everybody knew you owned that car? We all knew. We all got the memo. We all got the memo. You bought the car. You buy a house. Shelly buys that new house. When Shelly buys a new house, we all get the memo. Shelly bought the new house. So we all know that's Shelly's house. If someone comes by later and goes, that's not Shelly's house, that's my house. We look at our note and go, no. We all got the memo. Like all of us did. That's Shelly's house. You're wrong. Sorry. She can go to court, easily win, because we all got the memo that she bought the house. What if you got married? Everybody knew you got married. How? We all got the memo. You got the house. You got married. You bought the car. Whatever. We all got the memo. We all know because you put it on the blockchain. You chose to use the blockchain. That's what the blockchain is. The blockchain is a massive ledger of thousands of people who all agree a transaction or a contract occurred at a certain time. What if me and Joe decide, Joe, you're supposed to give me $30 on Monday? We all get the memo. Joe agreed to give Larry $30 on Monday. Well, Joe doesn't get $30 on Monday. He goes, I never agreed to that. No, you did. We all got the memo. That's the blockchain. The blockchain is a series of computers who all say, yes, this thing happened. But it's the best part. It's voluntary. You don't have to use it if you don't want to, right? So Shelly's like, I don't want to tell people. You don't have to. Not required. Up to you. If you go, no, I'm concerned. I want everyone to know. Good. Tell everybody. Up to you. And that's the glory of this. The blockchain is also voluntary, right? Joe says, don't memo on me. So I guess he's not going to be on the blockchain. Joe doesn't. It's like, no, I don't want to know. But some people want to know. They want everyone to know. Look, I know this is right. That's how it works. This is a good idea of understanding what the blockchain is. So while you might say, Larry, I trust the baseball cards more, or I trust the Beanie Babies more, and I get why you might feel that way. You grew up with them. It feels good for you. You like it. You can grab it and hold it. Makes sense. I do feel that. But if I cheat you with the Beanie Baby, or I cheat you with the baseball card, it's actually a whole lot harder to prove that I cheated you without the blockchain. Actually easier. It's right there, right? It's right there. The agreement's there. And literally thousands of people all agree and all got the memo. That's the glory and the value of a blockchain. That's why cryptocurrency can work if people want to use it. That's the basic idea of it. Now, obviously, there's so much more detail. But most of you don't care. And that's okay. You don't have to care. You don't have to know exactly how your car works to use your car or your computer or whatever, or your phone. You don't have to know everything about it. If you want to, you can deep dive and figure it all out if you want to, but you don't have to. What you have to be able to do is feel comfortable and safe and trade with someone else who feels comfortable and safe. Now, I know. Some people are going to say, but Larry, don't you go on the dark web and use your evil cryptocurrency to buy nasty things? Well, maybe, but if I do, I'm not hurting anybody. Why do you care what nasty things I may or may not buy? That's number one. So the good thing about cryptocurrency is we know the transaction occurred, but we don't always know exactly who did it, which is fine. I'm actually okay with that. You can have some anonymity. You can, but you can buy what you want to buy. But Larry, what about all the nasty things? Do you happen to know what is used to buy most nasty things, to do most nasty things, to hurt the most people, to do the most damage, to cause the most carnage? The US dollar. Not even close. And I mean, there's nothing even close to that. It's like the US dollar, then 80 miles down the road, something else. But the US dollar is by far, by literally millions and millions of dollars, hundreds of millions of dollars, by far, the currency used to the most damage and pain in this world. How do you know that? Because literally UBS was caught twice laundering money, US dollars, for drug cartels. Twice. Not once, oh, sorry, whoops. No, they did it and then did it again. Why would they do it again? You just got caught. Because there's so much money in it. In laundering US dollars, there's so much money. UBS said, we'll pay the fine. We actually don't care if we get caught. We'll pay the fine. And they did. They paid the fine twice. And do I know for a fact they're laundering money? I don't. Are they laundering money? Of course they are. Right now as we speak. There's no doubt that big banks are laundering drug cartel money. Of course they are. There's too much money in it. They'll pay the fine. If I got to pay $100 million to make 10 billion, take your $100 million. Fine. I don't care. That's the cost of doing business. That's happening now. The idea that someone would say cryptocurrency is, hurting people or whatever, I guess it is, maybe because people buy bad stuff. Sure. Fine. But US dollars, way worse. Way worse. But Larry, we need a bit license in New York. Bit license. Because people might do bad stuff. When has that ever stopped people doing bad stuff? Never. I would like individual people to have to trade in what they individually want to trade with, however they want and they choose to. Again, you don't like cryptocurrency? Don't use it. It's not required. This isn't the law, right? You got to use Bitcoin. No, don't use it. You like it, use it. You want to invest, invest. You want to spend, do whatever you want. And if you like what I'm saying, I'm going to give you an opportunity to spend it right now. You made a bunch of money in Bitcoin. I hope you guys did. I hope you made tons of money in Bitcoin. Because Larry Sharpe, for governor, takes Bitcoin. Yes, we do. You can go to larrysharpe.com/crypto-donation. The link is in the description. Give me some Bitcoin. You can. You can't actually give me one Bitcoin. It's actually worth too much. It will actually be too much. You can give me half Bitcoin if you want to. Yes, there are limits on how much money I can take in as a gubernatorial candidate. One Bitcoin would go over that limit. The limit, by the way, is $44,000. And the Bitcoin now is worth, 60 grand, something like that. So whatever, don't give me one Bitcoin. Whatever you do, give me like half a Bitcoin. Or, I don't know, a tenth of a Bitcoin. Or a hundredth of a Bitcoin. I'm actually okay with any of those. Actually, I'm okay with a thousandth of a Bitcoin too. That's totally fine, right? You can give me a small chunk of your Bitcoin. You can do it right here. Why would you do it? Why? Because if you have Bitcoin now, that means you care about cryptocurrency. You want it to be more mainstream. You want more people to be involved with it. If you're an investor, so it makes more money. If you're not an investor, but you just want the future to be crypto, that too. If you actually want more people to use more types of cryptocurrencies, that too. Because if I become governor, I'm going to tell you in a minute the policies I'm going to use to change how cryptocurrency is used in my state. My state is the least friendly to bit and cryptocurrencies in the union. Not making that up, the least friendly. We make it harder than anybody and with the finance capital of the country. That's going to change if we don't do something. We are literally going to watch finance run away from us if we don't make changes. I can fix that. You want to fix that? Take some of your Bitcoin money you made and throw it my way. Right there. larrysharpe.com. fundraiser.com/crypto-donation. All right. Why? When I ran in 2018, I talked about it. Yeah, I did. I talked about it. Oh, you might say, wait, hold on. One more thing. You can also donate regular, of course. LarryShip.com/donate. If you want to use regular cash, please go ahead. Regular cash works too. But this is for crypto. So you might say to yourself, wait a minute, Larry. Why in the world would I want to have you as governor when it comes to crypto? In 2018, I talked about this, and I haven't changed. We in New York State have a bit license. A bit license right now in New York State is literally a scam. It's just a scam. A guy named Lawsky used to run our finance department here in New York. He said, wait a minute, people are scared of crypto. I'll make a bit license and make it really hard to get involved with bit license with cryptocurrency in New York State. Then once I do this and make this massive maze that no one will understand, then I'll quit and become a consultant and have people pay me 6 figures to get me through the maze. That's what he did. I'm not joking. That's true. I can say that. You can't go, Larry, it's libel. Or, no, it happened. No, would that be libel? Would that? I forgot which one it would be. Would that be libel? Whatever. You're lying about him. No, that's a fact. That guy did that, and he is now the gatekeeper. So he made his own scam, and now you got to pay him for a scam. Wow, that's amazing. That's top tier corruption right there. That's amazing. So he did that. So now he's the gatekeeper on who gets what? Nothing but bad. The little guy gets hammered as always, and you're going to pay at least $250,000 to get a bit license in New York State, at least. Why? Because he's going to get his cut. That's how bad it is. What should you do? I'll tell you. Very simple. Each person who wants to use cryptocurrency has to simply decide that they're one of 3 entities. You really can't mix, that comes a problem, but just one of 3 entities. You can either be a trader, a bank, or a retailer. You pick. You decide. You say, you know what? I want to trade my cryptocurrency. Awesome. You become a trader. I want to be a bank. I want to buy and sell and loan out cryptocurrency. Okay, you're a bank. Or I'm going to be a retailer. I want to accept cryptocurrency in purchase when people buy stuff from me. So you pick one of those 3, whichever one you think is appropriate in your world. Now, if you want to be more than one, say you want to trade on the side and be a retailer, no worries. That becomes 2 separate pieces for you. You have 2 separate entities, one that is a trader and one that is a retailer. That's fine too, but they must be separate. Why? How does a retailer deal with taxation if you're in cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrencies fluctuate. How do you figure it out? Whatever. There can be a very simple answer. Very simple. For those who don't know, if you're a retailer, you pay sales tax in New York State. You pay it every month. That's how you pay it. So you take whatever cryptocurrency you want. Whatever you decide. I don't care. Take the ones you want to take. You want to take Bitcoin, Tusk, Ethereum, whatever you want. No worries. Great. Once you take that, at the end of every month, you transfer any way you want. You transfer all your Bitcoin, whatever, or all your cryptocurrency into any cryptocurrency that's on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. I'm using that as a good example. You could change it, but that exchange has lots of coins. So I'm picking that one, but we can even change the coin. And they will actually present you at the end of every month what the average dollar value of that coin was over the course of a month, whatever that was. So the average, Bitcoin over the course of last month, I don't know what it was. I'm making it up. Sake of argument was 50K. That's the value that you pay. Take that, transfer into dollars. That's your sales tax. Done. The rest you keep. Do whatever you want with. Keep it as cash, keep it in BitLight, whatever. You only have to pay the sales tax on that value of what you collected that month. If you want to keep it in Bitcoin and pay your tax with other cash, up to you. If you want to transfer that or piece of that into cash and pay it that way, up to you. You decide. Now, banks are going to want you to transfer that money. Why? Transfer fees. Boy, banks love transfer fees. They love transfer fees. So they'll do it. So they'll be more than happy to translate a chunk of that money. In fact, there'll probably be programs, right? Okay, I took in $50,000 in Bitcoin. With New York State sales tax equals X. Bank does a transfer fee. Boom, sends to the state. They get their cut. Life is good. Done. That's how you deal with a retailer. Just run your store however you want to run your store, whether that's an online store or a physical store. Do what you want, any way you like, take it any way you want. And all of a sudden now, sales tax is being paid. You run your business, people are trading what you want. But Larry, I'm scared of that. I don't want to trade in cryptocurrency. Then don't take it. This is voluntary. You decide to take the coin the way you want to take it, if you want to take it or not. Done, retailer. Simple. You are a banker. No worries. You're a banker. Just you use the blockchain to create all of your rules and regulations based upon banking. Same thing, no difference. You'll collect data. Who cares? Collect data. You always collect data, same data. Doesn't matter. But here's the best part. You know what happened. There's no mistakes, no screw ups. It's there. Same answer. Same thing. Banks have to reconcile. No worries. You can reconcile every day. That's what banks do. They reconcile every day. How do you reconcile, Larry? How do you do that? No worries. All good. Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Last 30 days. What's the average? Done. Just make sure if you're a bank, your bank, whatever coins you use are on the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. Done. Give it any way you want. The only thing I will not have on this is none of that fractionalized banking stuff, right? You actually can loan what you have and what you're gaining and whatever you actually loan what you get, right? So that's the only difference. But be a bank if you want to. I don't mind. Up to you. You can reconcile too. Not the end of the world. Again, I'll ask you, why do you require a bit license for any of this? If you don't pay your sales tax, that's a crime. If you lie as a banker, that's a crime, right? And your blockchain is seen. We'll say, oh, yeah, he got the money and didn't pay his sales tax. He's a banker. He got the money, didn't pay it. Okay, done. You didn't pay the mortgage. Done. It's right there. No requirement for a bit license. Why would you need one? The whole point of a blockchain is not requiring things outside the blockchain. That's the whole point of it. So why would you require a license? No need. Well, Larry, I want to be a trader. I just want to trade coins all day back and forth. I'm going to do that. Okay, no worries. Don't people do that already? We discussed this already. Didn't we discuss the baseball cards and the Beanie Babies and the comic books? People trade all the time. Back and forth all the time. Is the government involved? No. Where are all the deaths from comic book drive-bys? None. Where are all the deaths from Beanie Baby, I don't know, robberies? None. No deaths. Let people trade back and forth. When would you pay taxes on your Beanie Babies or on your comic books? Whenever you decide to turn them to cash. That's it. If I say, you know what, no more baseball cards for me, I'm selling my whole group, whatever, but boom, I make X thousands of dollars. Great, pay tax on them then. It's income. Pay it like you would pay anything else. Same thing as a trader. As long as you're trading back and forth, why is the government concerned at all? Once you decide, okay, I'm now turning this into cash, whenever you decide, is that every month? Is that every quarter? Is that every year? Trading to cash? Done. In you go. Crazy. Why do I require a bit license? But Larry, people might get robbed. How? People might be defrauded. Can't you get robbed and defrauded if you're trading Beanie Babies or anything else? Of course you could. What's the difference? No requirement for a license. It's not needed. All a license does is ensure the little guy has no chance of being legal, and only the big guy can grift off the government. The license is not required. It shouldn't exist. If you want that to happen in New York State, then support me. If you made a bunch of money off Bitcoin, and I hope all of you watching did, and in fact, if you know someone who did, do me a favor, send them this. Share this into their social media. If you know they made a bunch of money on Bitcoin, you made a bunch of money on Bitcoin, throw some to me. LarrySharp.com/crypto-donation. It does matter, because if you want this to keep growing, and I'm assuming you do, if you care about Bitcoin and other types of cryptocurrency, it's not going to happen in New York State if we don't have a different governor. Not going to happen. So this is how you make it happen. Not going to happen if people don't hear what I'm saying. What I'm saying makes complete sense. You know it does. You just heard. That's why you're watching. And no one else has told you this because no one else even cares about this. They're ignoring it. I'm not. I want you to be able to trade how you want to trade. I want you to be able to have and become that Bitcoin millionaire if you want to. Do it. I want you to be able to sell and trade in whatever currency you see fit. That's the issue. I don't buy stuff in Bitcoin myself. Doesn't mean you can't. You can if you want to. So you care about that? Bitcoin donations, LarrySharp.com/crypto-donation to take care of that. But you might say, Larry, I love it, but I don't have it. No worries. LarrySharp.com/donate. That's regular cash. Happy to have that too. I got to move forward. I have to do commercials. I have to buy commercials that say things like this so that people can watch and go, that guy gets it. Why am I not supporting that guy? Yeah, that does matter. That's why I'm out here. That's why I'm doing it. All right. So you're going to say, Larry, I get it. But I don't care about cryptocurrency. It's not my thing. Why do I care? You should anyway. 2 reasons why. If you're not in New York State, you should always be unhappy when New York State creates more rules and regulations. Why? They're coming to your state. That's how it works. It starts in my state, and then it comes to your state. If it's New Jersey, it comes in like 2 years. If it's Oklahoma, it comes in like 10. Utah, like 20 or 30. But it still comes. It's going to your state. The question is, how long will it take to get to your state? So you might have saved yourself a little bit. Looking at you, Wyoming. You might have saved yourself a little bit, but not forever. It's coming to your state. If we stop it here, it doesn't get to your state. That's number one, if you're not in New York State. Number two, what if you live here with me? You live in New York State with me. Don't you want new businesses in this state? Don't you want new industry in this state? Bit licensing is stopping people in this state from growing. It's stopping industry. We have become anti-cannabis, anti-vaping, anti-cryptocurrency, anti-blockchain. We are anti-everything. And we go, I wonder why people aren't coming to our state to grow. Because we're anti-everything. Because we make it so hard to be anything. How about we follow my 3 rules? And you want to come into New York State and start doing stuff? Come on in. Happy to have you. Larry, is there any example of this? Yes. Once again, looking at you, Wyoming. Wyoming's booming. Why? Because Wyoming's awesome. Wyoming is a good state. But Wyoming's been the same state for literally decades, right? They haven't made a massive change except in one thing, cryptocurrency. They are one of the most welcoming states there is. And who's running over to Wyoming? Wealthy people, investors, and new entrepreneurs in cryptocurrency. They're running to Wyoming. They're not running to New York. Wyoming. Larry, but Wyoming's beautiful. It is beautiful. I've been there more than once. It is a beautiful state. That's true. But it's cold in Wyoming. Worse than New York. And people still go there. And it's sparse. Many more people in New York. And people still go there. Why? Because there is an air of freedom and of innovation and of growth there, which does not exist here. We have a state that is full of an environment of stagnation and oppression that makes people leave. They don't want to stay here anymore. So if you live in New York State and you go, you know what, Larry, I don't care about any of this bit stuff. Doesn't matter to me. Great. Wouldn't it be nice if maybe your son or daughter could stay here and be involved in an interesting career and they wouldn't have to go to some other state to have work? Wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't it be nice if we were actually making enough money from other cryptocurrencies and such that our taxation, local taxation, could go down because we're making so much money on people just bringing in cryptocurrencies? Wouldn't it be nice if your tax burden went down? Yeah. Wouldn't it be nice if new cool things happened outside of cities in New York? You don't have to be in a city to do crypto stuff, do you? To do blockchain stuff, do you? No. Look at North Country right now. Yeah. Who's the guy talking about building nuclear power plants in North Country? Yeah, you're looking at him. I'm the guy. What's one of the reasons why? With nuclear power plants, blockchain mining, all of a sudden, that's green and cheap. It's green and cheap and will get people to come here. Insurance will change. Different industries will change. People will use things on the blockchain. And here's the best part. There are some people, again, who don't care about the blockchain at all. And you don't have to. This is all voluntary, guys. I'm not forcing you to do anything. But there's a lot of people who do care. And for those who do care, They will create new industries based off the blockchain in New York State. In New York State, they'll create new industries in New York State or change industries. How you do insurance? You can do insurance, blockchain, banking, blockchain, all those things, right? Criminal records, blockchain, autopsy records, blockchain, health records, blockchain, whatever. And if you like it and trust it, you do it. You don't, keep the old way. But don't you still want to have new ideas in the state so that other people can grow and that you can grow too? I would say yes. I would say yes. Absolutely. So yes. Let's see. Shelly says, can we have the people blockchain public properties? Yes, absolutely. In theory, theoretically, depending on how you want to do it, you could actually have all state property. And this could be a whole different thing, Shelly. You could use the blockchain in theory, and this is another idea, to make all New York state property owned by every New York State citizen. So every time the property is leased out, every New York State citizen gets a little bit of money. Yes. Why can you do that? It's a small percentage, but as you lease out more and more land, checks keep coming back to every New York State citizen. What's wrong with that? If you can make a rule, if you're a New York State taxpayer, every time that happens, a chunk goes to you. If we start using up our land very well, I don't know, like say leasing out land for 3 nuclear power plants, that would be a whole lot of money. All of a sudden, that money starts coming into New York State. And if you're a New York State resident, you get a cut. Wait a minute, Larry, is that a real thing? Alaska does it. I'm not making that up. Alaska does it. I think Alaska is that much, like $1,000 or something. But couldn't you use $1,000 every year? I don't know anyone who couldn't. And let's say you're super wealthy, you don't care about $1,000. Great, give it to charity or give it to me. You can give me the $1,000, then I'm fine with that, or give it to some charity or something like that. I think everyone could do something with $1,000, whatever that is. You could. So yes, Shelly, we could do that. That's another option, but not if we have bid licenses. Not if we decide that people can't do this, then we can't. But if we do, we can. Tom says that I mentioned I gave that. Thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. I love it, guys. I'm focusing always on trying to raise money so that I can buy the ads that I need to move forward. Of course, I'm trying to make a better run than I've ever made before. You know, I ran once before. I want to make even better. So I'm focusing on it. But that's why I went to this. If you want to give, please give. LarrySharp.com/donate. I'm about to sacrifice a year of my life to do this. I hope you can sacrifice a little bit of your cash every year. I want you to bleed, but don't bleed out. A little bit. I don't want you to be in a spot where now you're in trouble. Please don't do that. I need you strong. So please be strong. But if you got some extra cash, throw some of it my way. I love monthly donations if you can do it. But if you can't, one time is fine too. Monthly is easier for us. So we can now budget when it's monthly. So if you're saying to yourself, Larry, I'd love to give you $500, but I don't have it. I can't do it. Okay. Can you do $60 a month for 12 months? Can you do $100 a month for 6 months? Whatever, right? Can you break that up somehow? Is that possible for you? Now we're in the right frame of mind, if that makes any sense. So I'm happy to do that, whatever you can do. But I know some people have made a killing in Bitcoin. Some people have. It's been shooting up. If you know someone who cares about crypto, or if it's you, tell them to dump some of that Bitcoin to this man right here. Give me a 100th of a Bitcoin. It's fine. Do that. Give me a whole Bitcoin. Whatever. Don't do that. You can't do that because that'd be too much. Give me half a Bitcoin. Whatever. Throw a little bit my way so that I can keep pushing this forward, so we can have a better New York that supports cryptocurrency, that supports Bitcoin, that makes more people want to use it. And you know what? Your investment goes up. Put a little money in me, your investment winds up going up because more people will want to do it. That's why I'm focusing on that today. Humbug says, yay, Wyoming. It is a beautiful place. I've been there. And I first went to Wyoming because it's an Air Force base in Wyoming. And I was driving across the country. And I had a buddy of mine who was in the Air Force. And I stopped by the base there. I think it's right outside of Cheyenne, if I'm not mistaken. So that was my first time in Wyoming. But I've been to Wyoming a couple of times since then. But yeah, it's actually a beautiful thing. Yes. Chad says, sounds like you like volunteerism. Yeah, Chad. I do. And I think the more freedom we have, the more volunteerism works the more people enjoy it and they do it. Will there be mistakes? Yeah, there will be. But there's mistakes now. Tons of them. The problem is mistakes now, the wealthy just get away with it or connect to get away with it, and the poor people get hammered, or the people who are not in power get hammered. But when you have a blockchain, everybody can see it. There's a record, right? There's a record. The little guy has a better chance of getting the right thing and the right outcome when you have the blockchain. So yes. So anyway, I think that's a good one. Yes. So I appreciate that. So let's see here. Where am I going here? We did that one already. We did that one already. Good. That one. I'm taking some of your comments, guys, to make sure I got everything. Shelly says North Dakota has a sign that says 10 degrees below keeps out the riffraff. That's actually funny. I like that. It is cold in Wyoming. That's true. But I hope I covered a bunch of issues and ideas on why it does matter. But there is a bigger piece to this than all of that. If you can just randomly say blockchain bad, cryptocurrency bad, put people in jail because of it, what can't you say bad? What can't you put people in jail because of? And you see it already. New York State's doing it, vaping. And you might go, Larry, vaping's bad, or I don't like vaping. I don't care. Don't vape then. This goes back to volunteerism. Chad said it. You don't like vaping? Don't vape. No one's forcing you to vape. Nobody is. But Larry, the kids are vaping or whatever. Okay, that's already illegal. And where are the kids getting the vaping from? Not from the vape shops, from the black market. Why is there a black market? Because we're punishing the vape shops. Government punishes vape shops. Vape shops become too expensive and hard. That encourages the black market. Black market doesn't care about kids. Black market gives vaping to kids. Government gives vapes to kids. Did you get that? Government gives vapes to kids. Vape shops do not give vapes to kids. That's not how it works. Not what happens. Vape shops care. I know. I've met many people who own vape shops. They actually care. They don't sell vaping products to kids. Only the government can make sure the black market exists so the black market can. Bitcoin, the same thing. Cryptocurrency, the same thing. You want to make sure that people doing bad things with cryptocurrency? Prohibition works every time. What you see our New York State government doing again, creating policies that support two types of people, two industries, I should say. Big business, black market. That's who wins every time in New York State. Big business and black market. And who gets caught up in the black market? Well, that would be the poor, the working poor, and the middle class. That's who gets caught in the black market. Who doesn't get caught in the black market and does very well in the corporate world? The wealthy. Yes. That's what keeps happening. And then we keep blaming the wealthy for stuff. The wealthy are just playing the game that the government created. Well, don't blame the player, blame the game, change the game. You want to change the game? LarrySharp.com/donate. Or if you made money on Bitcoin, LarrySharp.com/crypto-donation. And if you know someone who made a bunch of money, send this to them. Send this to them. Yes, Shelly says it right. Give Larry crypto so you can have more crypto. Yes, that's accurate. Thank you, Shelly. Shelly is my new motto writer. There we go. Give Larry crypto so you can have more crypto. That's accurate. But not just that. Give Larry crypto so you can have a freer state where we can have more people happy to be here, youngsters growing businesses, older people retiring here, people in the middle growing families here, and everything else. I want a better state. I want a freer state. This is the battleground state right here. This is the battleground state. It's Florida. It's Pennsylvania. No, it isn't. New York. The bad stuff starts here, and if they get away with it here, it goes someplace else. I'm in the belly of the beast. I'm on the front line. You want to help your soldier, your Marine in the front line? Great. LarrySharp.com/donate or LarrySharp.com/crypto-donation. Tell your friends who have made money in Bitcoin, throw me some Bitcoin so we can move this state forward and this nation forward. Guys, I want to say thank you so much for watching this evening. I appreciate it. I hope you guys will give and keep moving forward. I want to move forward. Let's make this happen. I will see you all next week.